Ever wonder what it'd be like to have a job that involved going to outer space for 5 months? Chris Hadfield shares his experiences of trials and triumphs at the Canadian School Board Association Congress.
I lived outside Canada for 25 or 26 years, and to be able to come back and speak with a group as, I don't know if people would view it as influential, but a group that is inherently as influential as the public school boards right across Canada that help choose the content and shape the direction that our kids are going to be learning in. It's a real privilege for me. So I'm going to talk to them about some of the experiences I've had, of course, but more importantly, about how it is that we allow our young kids to choose opportunities that they might not have realized existed, to let people see what lies beyond maybe the immediate horizon, and to look at effective ways of communicating science, technology, and Canada itself to our kids across the country.
What was one of the most memorable or remarkable things that you remember about being in space for the first time?
The most magnificent experience of my life was to walk in space, to be Canada's first spacewalker. Of course, it was the first time for me to walk in space, to be alone in the universe, not on the world, but with the world, and to have the universe around me, and to see the world in that perspective, in its true perspective. That was a phenomenal thing to be part of, and I've done my best to try and share it and help explain it and describe it, but also to bring that perspective back, to put ourselves into true cosmic perspective. I think it's an important way to think of ourselves, and I was lucky enough to see it directly with my own eyes.
Has your outlook on Earth changed now that you've been to outer space?
I think it makes you more optimistic to see the world the way I have. It's a big, tough place, and it's withstood much worse than us. You know, we tend to make things worse for ourselves, kind of short-sightedly, but the world is a big, tough, patient, self-regulating beast of a place. But it's also small and fragile from our point of view. We can change things so that they make it locally uninhabitable for us. But I think you get the global perspective comes with patience. A lot of the stuff that seems so important is also so transitory. And I've been around the world almost 2,600 times, and it takes away that sense of them, that sense of blame of other people. It gives you instead more a sense of us, just a sense of collective us, and a sense of personal responsibility and stewardship to do what you can to be part of that group.
Chris Hadfield was notorious for tweeting from outer space, but as he told us, social media is just an extension of what he's been doing throughout his entire career as an astronaut.
I was an astronaut for 21 years. Every single day I did my best to share the experience with other people. I was there on behalf of a lot of other people, and so I spoke in hundreds, if not thousands, of Canadian schools over those 21 years. I directly corresponded by email with kids for the whole time. I'd do a thing called On the Lunch Pad, where using Skype I would just tie in and eat my lunch with a classroom somewhere and talk to them. So being in space was just an extension of that. Doing something very rare on behalf of so many people and using every scrap of technology that exists to try and share it real time. I did it on all 3 of my space flights. The third one, though, technology existed through social media and through connectivity with the space station, that it became even easier to share the experience real time. And that had a huge effect, where there were over 1 million people following directly on social media, and of course even more through regular media, watching what I was seeing through my eyes and trying to understand the new perspective that it brings. I thought it was an important part of my job, and I still do. I was extremely privileged and lucky, and I'll use every means possible to try and help other people make better decisions, or at least good decisions, based on the lucky things I've been able to do.
Chris Hadfield has inspired many Canadians with his down-to-earth perspective and lifelong lessons on determination that have taken him to the stars and back. In Niagara Falls, reporting for The Source, I'm Vanessa Verworn.